Imagine this. You're at a job interview. Two candidates sit before the hiring manager. Both have the same qualifications, experience, and skill set, but one is conventionally attractive, and the other is not. Now, who do you think gets the job? In many cases, it's the more attractive candidate. This is a clear example of pretty privilege, something that happens far more often than we might think. Pretty privilege is the unspoken advantage that attractive people have in everyday life. Whether it's getting hired, being promoted, or receiving better service, attractive individuals tend to experience life with certain perks that others don't. But what's behind this phenomenon? It's not just societal beauty standards at work. It's our own brains, shaped by cognitive biases, that influence the way we perceive and treat others. One of the most significant cognitive biases driving pretty privilege is the halo effect. This bias leads us to assume that if someone looks good, they must possess other desirable qualities too, like being smart, kind, or competent. In that job interview, the attractive candidate is not only seen as more physically appealing, but also assumed to be more capable, more professional, and overall more qualified, even if there's no real evidence to back this up. It's an unconscious shortcut our brains take to make quicker judgments. But it doesn't stop there. Once we form this initial positive impression, confirmation bias kicks in. We start looking for evidence that supports our belief that the attractive person is indeed more competent. If they perform well in a task, we see it as proof that our initial assumption was right. But if they make mistakes, we downplay it, ignoring the negative evidence because it doesn't align with the narrative we've already formed in our minds. We're actively seeking out information that confirms what we already believe, and that belief, in this case, is tied to their looks. Then, we have attribution bias. This bias leads us to attribute the success of an attractive person to their personal qualities, such as their hard work, talent, or intelligence, rather than to external factors. Meanwhile, if someone less attractive achieves the same thing, we might attribute their success to luck or favorable circumstances. Conversely, when attractive people fail, we're more likely to blame the situation, whereas less attractive people might get blamed for the failure themselves. Our perceptions of success and failure are skewed by looks in ways that most of us don't even realize. Next, there's status quo bias. This bias makes us prefer things that feel familiar or normal. Society has long favored beauty, and this creates a comfortable, unchallenged belief that attractive people deserve better treatment. We've been conditioned to think this way, and because it's so ingrained, we rarely question it. Pretty privilege becomes just a normal part of life, and in most cases, we don't even notice when it's happening. Another bias that contributes to pretty privilege is social identity bias. This bias drives us to associate ourselves with individuals or groups who represent what we aspire to be. Attractive people are often seen as the embodiment of success, happiness, and social desirability. We want to be like them, or at least be associated with them, because they fit the mold of what society values. As a result, attractive individuals receive more positive attention, more opportunities, and more benefits simply because of how they look. Pretty privilege isn't just about looks. It's a web of subconscious biases that shape how we interact with the world and how the world interacts with us. Our brains use these biases to make quick, effortless judgments about others. And in doing so, we unintentionally give more power and privilege to those who fit societal standards of beauty. But why is this a problem? Well, for one, it reinforces inequality. It creates a system where people are rewarded or punished based on something they have little control over, their appearance. And the effects of this can be seen in almost every area of life: employment, education, relationships, and even the justice system. By understanding the cognitive biases behind pretty privilege, we can start to see the world and the people in it more clearly. We can begin to challenge these unconscious judgments and work toward a society where people are valued for their character, skills, and actions, rather than just their looks. So, the next time you notice someone getting better treatment because of their appearance, take a moment to reflect on the biases at play. Ask yourself, am I seeing this person for who they really are or for what I've been conditioned to believe about them? Recognizing these biases is the first step toward breaking them and creating a more just and fair world. Thank you for watching.